Look, what does he say? He says, could you talk to us about the concept of helplessness? Our brother, look, has described this so beautifully. He says, how can we benefit from this treasure? In other words, how can we partake in it? He has described that helplessness as a treasure. I mean, how true that is. Iran's Mevlana, they used to say, you know, in yesterday's conversation, our Sultan mentioned Shadi Shirazi and Hafiz Shirazi. They were brought up, that blessed one. His work is also like the Masnavi of Mevlana Hazratleri. The name of his work is also Gulistan. They asked him, they said, when, sir, in the face of Allah Almighty's immense and boundless blessings, how should we give thanks? How should we show gratitude, I mean? Is there a way to truly give thanks? Look at the answer that Blessed One gave. He says, in the face of the blessings Allah Almighty has bestowed, he says for us, he says, it's not even possible for us to truly give thanks. All we can do in the face of those blessings is to recognize our own helplessness. If we do that, then Allah Almighty says, He is with those whose heads are bowed, with those whose hearts are broken, you know, as He says, I am with the humble, with the brokenhearted. Then Allah Almighty looks at the humility of our bowed heads, He says, and grants us value to our praise and gratitude. Such helplessness is a treasure. So now how can I make this more concrete? Now just think about this. Isn't it truly the case that Mr. Tayyip is currently serving in the esteemed office of the President of the country, right? So imagine that Mr. Tayyip sent Mr. Tahir a package, a black one like this. There's no address or anything written on it. It just says Mr. Tahir. A man in glasses, dressed in a pitch black suit, knocked on Mr. Tahir's door and handed it to him. He said, there's a package for you from our president. He put it down and left. He doesn't know his name or anything about him. And Mr. Tahir, about what's inside this package. Anyway, it's something he really needs. Look, just imagine. He opened it and was so happy because it was something he needed. Now he wants to thank Mr. Tayyip in return, right? I mean, in such a situation, you should thank him. How is he going to reach him? Does he have any means at all? No phone, no address, nothing. The guy who brought it just put it down and left too. Is there any way for him to reach out at all? At most, he could go and sleep in front of the presidential complex. And even then, they'd say, come on, man, are you crazy or what? Right? No one would even bother to ask, who are you? What do you want? Look, look. Do you see how helpless he is? He has absolutely no means, you know. Do you see how he can't even thank for what he's lost? Look. That servant, may there be no mistake in the analogy. That's how helpless we are, really. How are you going to deliver that praise, that gratitude? Only with this, because you have nothing else in your hands. Just this. Can you truly establish that profound bond of heart? Can you genuinely enter that sacred path, the very one mentioned in the road from heart to heart? That's where you should give thanks from. Our Sultan once said this to one of the brothers. He said, you write it in your heart and I will read it from there. Do you see this beauty? Just imagine. Now, Mr. Tahir has written it in his heart, Mr. President. He said, thank you very much for thinking of me. And he read it from there. Is there any need for an intermediary, a go-between, or anything like that? To strive to reach, or anything like that. Do you see? That's it. That state in the heart, how does it come? It can't happen alone, you see. Try to do it completely alone, come to the very end of your entire life, and you will undoubtedly just regret what has already truly passed. But in the profound spiritual gatherings of those revered sultans, they say, with just a glance, they make their students cover great distances. That's why. God willing, let us always strive to be faithful and true servants in all that we do. Let us put in effort and strive for that. You know, Sheikh Nazim used to say, there are many gates to paradise. And he says, there is also the gate for servants. May Allah make us among those who enter through that gate of servanthood, inshallah. If we are truly aware of our own profound helplessness, meaning I am someone who sincerely tries to be a humble servant at your divine door, a mere beggar in your glorious presence, O Lord. You see, you know. If we are truly aware of our profound helplessness and do not perceive any inherent worth within ourselves, that is precisely when Allah the Almighty is truly with you, always.